Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're going to do a little bit of multitasking. I have this antique wheelbarrow that Laura had gotten me, kind of like a garden piece to have, leaning over with some soil and flowers growing out of it. And when we first moved over to the ranch a few years ago, I had gotten a Viburnum that's supposed to be a white flowering shrub, tree. I don't know, I really haven't seen that many of them before. I got it at a nursery giveaway, and I planted it in it, and I remember that the soil wasn't that great, and it's been in a really shady spot of the house, and so it just hasn't done that much. It's budded out, and it's leafed out. It's maybe given me a flower here or there, but it really hasn't done nothing much. So today, I'm going to get it into a training pot. It's a relatively deep pot, but I know this thing's had a whole wheelbarrow to grow into, so I'm expecting, like, huge roots, and I think it's a great time of the year because the buds are slightly green and swelling. So I'm not going to do a hard prune on it because I think it already has a decent start. But then I'm going to repurpose the antique wheelbarrow and see if it's in good enough condition to haul mulch, because I'm out of mulch down in the backyard and I need to finish off the weed barrier for this year for the tree farm. So I've got a huge pile of mulch up here in the driveway. And just carrying 2 buckets at a time, it's not only labor intensive, but it just takes forever. So if I can use it for that, I am going to. And if it's just not sturdy enough, not stable enough, then I'm going to do it as it was originally intended. And I think maybe put it at the end of our driveway next to a wild rose bush and get some seasonal flowers growing in it. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so here it is. So it's sitting in this antique wheelbarrow. I think the wheels are in pretty good condition, and I think the metal frame is too. So I think for the lighter mulch, it might be a very useful tool, but we'll see. And then this is the pot that I'm going to utilize. Nothing fancy, plastic, slightly decorative. And I think the white flowers will at least look nice in it while it's training to be a bonsai. But you see, it's got some nice buds and not a bad trunk here. I think I saved the tag. That would be fortunate. Yep. All right, so a Viburnum carlesi. Cool. Right, so this is actually tabby, and it's used for siding and walkways, and I actually used it for a wall barrier, like a retention wall in my circular driveway when I lived in South Carolina. And I took a couple of pieces with me. It's got the oyster shells all on the cement, and it's a little piece of my history. So yeah, let's get this thing out of there. I'm going to repurpose all this soil down in front of the tree farm. You see the white fenced-in area. I've got a stash of soil that I've been combining with, like, compost and soil that I think just isn't good enough for my trees anymore. But I think it'll be nice as a part of a nice mix to freshen up the veggies and fruits when we plant them this year. And what you hear down there, he's hiding behind the tree. But our buddy Carl, the rooster who never stops cock-a-doodle-dooing all day long. That's what you're hearing in the background. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so we're down at the pile of soil. Preggers is helping me, my beautiful bride Laura. 27 weeks pregnant this Thursday with our baby Stella Lucia. She's due the beginning of July. But what's cool is in our first garden bed, we had put a bunch of garlic cloves in, I think October, end of October, maybe early November. And they have all popped up. So we'll watch them grow nice and tall and pick them when the leaves turn yellow. We've had some pretty good success with garlic. That's like our star crop. So yeah, As you see over here, these are grass clippings. They do great for soil. This main pile here has manure throughout it, but it's a little dense. And then you see this stuff that has like perlite and such. That's more of my recycled bonsai soil. So you see I got all of those tabby rocks out. There was a bunch of other rocks that made it really heavy, and I wheeled it down here with no problem. So I think it's going to serve its purpose, being more efficient than carrying 2 5-gallon buckets. So once I'm done with the tree farm, which shouldn't take more than a day or two to finish the rest of the weed barrier, and that's where I put down, I'll show you. So that's where I put down a layer of cardboard. These trees are all planted in sandbags above the earth, so as they grow I can move them and or sell them depending on, you know, what is needed. So I've got rows of 50 of these white spruce, 500 of them in total. And over here are parts that I haven't finished. We have laid the cardboard and some mulch on top, but just haven't spread the mulch. And I don't have that much to go, because over there's no more rows of trees. There's like a 50-foot section that's just mulch. So I won't prioritize that with putting up a weed barrier, because really just pretty wildflowers comes up. So no harm, no foul. You know, maybe in the future though, I'll put in another few hundred of a different species. You never know. So those are all white spruce, Picea glauca. All right, I'll stop flapping my gums and get this tree out of this soil. LB, can you hold the camera for me, please? Try to have the sun behind you, so over there. Alright, so I'm going to see if I could just wiggle it, since it's such a big thing. If I could kind of get it to just make its way out without using a shovel or any tools, I think we're going to have success. Yeah. Okay. The soil actually looks pretty. It's nice and dark and deep. It has time-release fertilizer pellets in there. It's like Osmocote. So it's actually pretty nice soil. But where it was, I guess it just wasn't growing well because of the lack of sun. It was on the northern side of the house, between the house and the garage. And so its access to sun is very limited, maybe 1-2 hours a day. Okay, more recycled soil, that's cool. So this thing's rusted out now, but it was a really cool antique yellow. So maybe, you know, when Laura's refurbishing again after she has the baby, she'll paint it again. But for now, I think a rusted out antique looking wheelbarrow is pretty cool. And they made things well back then. They were just full of air and pop, and then, you know, it costs more money for a tire than it does to replace the wheelbarrow. Alright. So I'm actually going to do the rest up at the ranch, up on the deck. But I'll get that in there for now. Let's go. Alright, so we're back up on the porch. And this is absolutely the best place to be. Got a view of the pond, got a view of the whole backyard, tree farm. All my indoor trees will be displayed around these benches and the railing. And it's just an awesome spot to be, in my opinion. So I'm not going to use my fancy bonsai soil that y'all saw me mix up a few weeks ago. But I do have some really nice dark soil with perlite in it. I'm going to put that in the base here, raise it up, and then just kind of slip this right into the pot. Then I'll give it a light pruning, and we'll really let it grow beautiful this year. Probably prune it harder next year, and then the following year I will do a root pruning on it and repot it probably into bonsai soil. So that's my plan. So I've got this about halfway full, and this just conveniently matches the pot well, how wide the root base was. I haven't worked on this thing before, and I don't want to start now. Transplanting it already, I don't want to do too much. Without pressing too hard, I'm just settling it in here. Alright, there's like just a little clump of one section of surface roots that I'm going to take out. But then, that's it. Yeah, see? Just one little guy. I'm just working it in. Oh yeah. Yeah, have you guys seen or done any viburnums? I've heard of verbatims a ton, and I've dug those up wildly in my yard, had some grill as volunteers. Never a viburnum. Maybe we consider this our baby tree. Laura was telling me like it's a thing to plant the tree for a baby. I had no idea. I think I got a hydrangea for Franny 15 years ago that I killed. So. That thing didn't even last a season. All right. Now Franny's gonna watch this video. I'm gonna be in trouble.
Yes.
All right, that's in there nice. I didn't press it down too hard, just firm. Made sure there were no air pockets, and then I'll water this thing in. So it's really early spring here in Northwest Connecticut. So at night we still have some times that it's going to drop into freezing. So that's pretty much why I didn't do the roots yet, along with since it's its first real, potting. When you plant something in a wheelbarrow, I mean that's just free to grow crazy. All right. You got a good view of it?
Yeah. I get closer.
Cool. So I was checking it out earlier, and I'm going to remove this branch entirely because it just comes up from the base of another one and grows across the plant entirely. So take that out. You got this guy here, comes out and takes a hard drop, so that'll never look good. I'll leave a little bit of room for dieback. This doesn't seem like a tree that'll care that much, but I'll stick with the principles. Got this one coming up and growing against the leader. Anyway, I got dirt in these clippers when I prune those roots, so might have to change tools. Deadwood. So clearly we're using this guy as our leader. It's got a nice sway going to it. A lot of vertical growth after here, so I will cut between the two internodes. This one's going to be split off with it. Kind of dig that. I'll do the same thing. I want to give both these branches an opportunity. So let's see if they could do some cool stuff without interfering. This branch I'm just leaving it be, leaving that one at the end. What do you think about this one, babe? It's kind of going right across the main front there.
It's not enough. Take it out.
Taking it out. You heard the lady. And we get a nice divide here. I'd really like to see these 3 trunks, you know, even up, maybe even fuse together in the future. I just thought of that now that we got some of the trash out of the way. So why don't I cut between up here, and it looks like it's going to be a strong grower this year. This one's kind of dead looking, and it's right at the base of another branch, so that's coming out. Maybe that would be the front.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter at this point, but I like the windswept.
It's pretty.
Ian's probably yelling to take this one out. All right. This thing just goes mad straight up. It's got some nice. So I'll do that, and then I hope this branch grows out a little bit this way, and I won't let the one that's coming into the main trunk grow. So yeah, that'll do it there. I dig it. So, almost full spring, y'all. Early spring. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. Thanks for visiting me today here at the ranch. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, notification bell, please do so. There's always a ton to come here at the ranch. The baby's on the way. The tree farm finally has a year under its belt, and I'm about to get the indoor trees outside, so it's going to be insane. If you want to take a look at my indoor trees, I did a 4-minute video to some music yesterday, just walking around the main floor of my house where I have all my maples, birches, black locusts. It's just tree galore in there. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun this year. So please do so. Comment below. I love the questions and I love the advice. So I'm Jared Paul. Take care, y'all. Cheers.